Okay, so let's talk 2.3, number 28, which says Seattle City Light charges residents for electricity on a daily basis. Okay, and there's a basic daily charge of 15 point. So daily charge is 15.70 cents, which is kind of fundamentally confusing of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In addition, for each day, right, the first 10 kilowatt hours, so 0 to 10 kilowatt hours, I'm sure I'm abbreviating that wrong, cost 4.66 cents per kilowatt hour. Cool. And then additional kilowatt hours are 10.7 cents. So more kilowatt hours are 10.7 cents per kilowatt hour. Okay, and then it says make a table, boring. I'm going to go with B. Write a piecewise function. Cool. All right. So, B, electricity as a function of what? What are your inputs on this thing going to be?
Kilowatt hours.
Right, hours or kilowatt hours. So I'm going to call that H, I don't know, for H kilowatt hours, right? Is going to be what?
15.7 at F equals 0.
Okay. So when H is 0, right, I'm going to be paying 15. This is stupid, right? I probably should phrase this in dollars like a real person. So to phrase this in dollars like a real person, how many dollars is 15.7 cents? 0.157 dollars.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so to note that I made that change, I'm going to put a dollar sign under this. You guys cool with that? I get to name it whatever the heck I want. So I've named this electricity dollars as a function of hours. You could pick a different name and that would be perfectly valid. So we're going to say it's 0.157 for H is 0. Then what?
4.6x plus.
Okay, so you're going to say it's 0.0466, right?
Yes.
H plus
0.157.
0.157 for H.
Is 0.10.
Oh, good.
Including.
I think we could just say 0 is smaller than H is smaller than or equal to 10. You guys with me on that?
Yeah.
And that means I could probably dump what?
I know it includes 10, but should it not be equal to 0 because you already have a value for 0?
Good. I sort of screwed something up, right? I listed the value for H is 0 twice. Is it the same value?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could next one liner, or so I could either drop the first line or drop this equality. I'm going to drop the equality since I think putting the first line was a decent idea. But you could certainly drop the first line instead. You guys okay with that? Okay, then what? So if you go over 10, right? So far I've got 0, 0 to 10. What do I do for H over 10? What did they say?
That's 0.1078.
Okay. 0.107 times something.
Isn't it times all that, not all of the inequality above it?
Plus. So how many hours am I going to have where I get charged more than?
Well, you have to have at least 10 hours.
Yeah, so I only get charged this 10.7 cents for the hours after 10, right? So how many hours did I go past 10 here? Right, I'm at h, which is a number bigger than 10.
H minus 10.
Good, and I need to
Okay.
subtract 10 to bring me back. You guys see
So how
that?
many is above 10?
And then I also have to pay what?
All the money before, so I had 62, but my numbers are off.
Yeah, so I have to pay all the money before, right, which is going to be 10 times this thing plus that. So I'm just going to write it that way. I'm going to write 0.0466 times 10 plus 0.157. And that's going to be for h is bigger than 10. You guys see that? So I've got my 10 hours at the lower rate, my daily base charge, and however much I went over. You guys see that? Should be noted this is how tax brackets work. Right, so by getting bumped into the next tax bracket, the only money that gets taxed at the higher rate is the money past what you,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. So you can never get bumped into a tax bracket and end up paying more taxes than you would have making a lower income. That's not possible. Cool. Other things on this? So then the rest of the questions I think should be pretty easy. Make a table should be chill. What's the cost for 33 kilowatt hours? That's just plug 33 in here, right? You guys see that?
Yeah, put 33 and 3.
Yeah, so which piece does 33 go in? Is 33 equal to 0? No. Is 33 between 0 and 10? No. Is 33 bigger than 10? Yep. So I better plug my 33 into that bottom piece. And D is, how many kilowatt hours can you burn on a day for $3? So how would you figure that one out? That one's actually weird.
Yeah. So you're having output, so you're trying to find an input.
Yeah, I'm looking for an input, right? They gave me an output. So I'm trying to set 3 equal to E dollar of H, right? Okay. So which part do I set equal to 3 and then try to solve?
The eighth.
The bottom one.
Yeah.
So this
Oh.
good answers are either this middle piece or the bottom piece, right? This one's definitely not going to be equal to $3. Okay, so I'm looking at one of these two. What's this one stack out at? This is 15 cents and
I had 63 cents.
46 cents. This, yeah, like
It's gonna be
60 some cents. Not going to be $3. So I'm definitely looking at this bottom one. So I'm really setting 3 equal to the bottom part. So I got 0.107 times h minus 10 plus 0.466 plus 0.157. And you guys can solve that, I think. It's just poorly written. What 10? Oh, I multiplied.
Oh, yeah.
I moved the decimal. One. Sorry. Cool. Questions, things? You guys can solve this. What would it look like if you screwed up? So if you set this equal to the middle one, what would you get? So if you set 3 instead of equal to the last line, but equal to the middle line, what would that look like?
Oh, you get a lot more hours.
Yeah, you get a lot more hours because you're paying that lower rate, right? But you only get the first 10 hours at that rate.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
So if you got more hours and you know you plugged into the middle one, and more hours is more than 10, that's how you know you'd screw up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what you'd get, right, is you'd set 3 equal to this. You'd get some absurd answer like 55 hours or something, right? But H's 55 doesn't fit into that piece. It fits in this piece. So you'd plug it in this piece and you'd see that it's not right. You guys with me on that? Okay. So solving piecewise functions is a little bit weird. Sometimes you just don't have a good intuition So you just set it equal to each piece, solve them all, and then figure out whether they fit back into the piece they're supposed to.
That makes sense.
That's cool.
Mhm.